Good morning. EU asks people to gather supplies in case of crisis. What sort of crisis? The European Union, EU, has encouraged citizens across the continent to stockpile food, water, and other essentials to last at least 72 hours as war, cyber attacks, climate change, and disease increase the chances of a crisis. The call to action for the EU's 450 million citizens comes as the 27-nation bloc rethinks its security, especially after Donald Trump's U.S. administration warned that Europe must take more responsibility for it. Geez, that's kind of scary. In recent years, the EU has been forced to deal with the coronavirus pandemic and the threat from Russia, including its attempts to exploit Europe's dependence on its natural gas to weaken support for Ukraine. NATO Secretary General, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has warned that Russia could be capable of launching another attack in Europe by 2030. Today's threats facing Europe are more complex than ever, and they are all interconnected, said Preparedness and Crisis Management Commissioner Hadja Labib as she shared a new strategy for dealing with future disasters. I'm losing my English, don't you think? While the Commission is keen not to be seen as alarmist, Labib said it's important to make sure people have essential supplies for at least 72 hours in a crisis. She listed food, water, flashlights, ID papers, medicine, and radios as things to stock. Radio, nah. Because this is not going to be in use in any crisis. The EU's plans are similar to those in France, Finland, and Sweden. Last year, Sweden updated its civil emergency advice to better reflect today's security policy reality, such as what to do in case of nuclear attack. And not all EU countries have the same level of crisis preparedness, and the Commission also wants to encourage them to coordinate better in case of emergency. President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said new realities require a new level of preparedness in Europe. She added, our citizens, our member states, and our businesses need the right tools to act both to prevent crisis and to react swiftly when a disaster hits. Discussion. What are your thoughts on the EU encouraging citizens to stockpile supplies? It's a good thing because you never know anything about it. So, what do you make of the claim that the threats facing Europe are more complex than ever? True. I think it's true. Well, would you say the same is true for your country? Yes, definitely. Because not only those wars, but national disaster is always a problem in Japan anyways. How well prepared do you imagine people in your country are for emergencies? Somewhat, yes, because we always face a earthquake and typhoon. Yeah, but not everybody for sure. Do you keep any emergency supplies in your home? Yes, I do. But I probably should check again because some of them are getting old and you kind of need to renew it. Yeah. What essentials would you include in a 72-hour emergency kit? Food. Actually, the easy toilet. Yeah. Because sometimes the water flush is not going to be used. I mean, yeah, toilet flush sometimes is not in use and you kind of need to have a pot For the discussion, how would you rate your government's handling of crisis of disasters? Do you think the world has become safer or less safe over the past few decades? Much less safe. And what kinds of global threats worry you the most? War. Do you think the world will be a better place to live 50 years from now? I hope. The crisis you have to worry about the most is the one you don't see coming. True. Mike Mansfield. What do you make of this quote? True. Be prepared, but never know.